There is a moment in every industry when power shifts, a moment when the decision moves from the factory to the user. In perfume, that moment was not loud. It was not an announcement. It was not an official statement. It was quiet, but it was a revolution. In the past, perfume was a closed formula. The perfumer decided the opening, the heart, and the base, and you either rejected it or accepted it. There was no adjustment, no intervention, no your version. But as the market expanded after 2015 and saturation hit after 2018 and the digital market explosion came after 2020, something different began. People were no longer searching for the best perfume. They were searching for the best modification. Old roots, new spirit. The idea of layering scents is not new. In the Gulf, for centuries, people applied oud oil, then musk, then rose, then incense, layers upon layers. But this was a cultural tradition. It was not globally recognized as a modern system. The global shift began roughly between 2016 and 2019. Jo Malone London began promoting the concept of fragrance combining, not as a suggestion, but as a philosophy. Perfume was no longer a standalone unit. It became a component. For the first time, a major brand was saying, don't just wear one fragrance. Mix, experiment, build your own version. And here, something very important changed. The brand was no longer the absolute authority. It became a partner. Molecule 01 by Gezes Cohen was originally released in 2006, but its true global boom came after 2017. People began using it as a base layer, not as a standalone fragrance, but as a booster. ISO E Super acts like a booster. It lifts wood, deepens amber, and reveals leather. And here, perfume was no longer a finished product. It became a tool. When you layer two fragrances, you are not just mixing two smells. You are changing evaporation rates, changing molecular diffusion, and creating a new pyramid. For example, a citrus fragrance rich in bergamot with a heavy woody scent. The result, the opening lasts longer, the wood appears earlier, the heart shifts. This is not arithmetic. This is chemical interaction. When stores closed, people began experimenting at home. YouTube filled with layering experiments. TikTok exploded with men's plus women's fragrance mixes, niche plus designer blends, cheap plus luxury combinations. And for the first time, authority was not in advertising. It was in personal experimentation. Some houses began releasing fragrances designed specifically for layering. Lighter, less dense, built as foundations. The goal was no longer to be the star, but to be the base. And here, the role of the perfumer changed. They were no longer creating the final masterpiece. They were creating a piece of a larger canvas. When you layer your fragrance, you are performing a powerful symbolic act. You are saying, I don't want a finished fragrance. I want to participate in the creation. This shift reflects a broader social phase. People no longer fully trust central authority, unified taste, and final formulas. The classical pyramid, top, heart, base, was once sacred. Layering disrupted the system. You can now apply the base first, then add a new opening, then overlay a different heart. The result, a non-traditional pyramid, an unpredictable evolution, a scent difficult to replicate. Here's a practical example. Layer another 13 by Le Labo with a heavy oriental fragrance. Ambroxan will increase transparency, it will soften sweetness, it will make the blend feel more skin-like. You didn't just change the smell, you changed its personality. The risk, not every layering works. Sometimes ballast collapses, molecules clash, openings disappear. But this is the beauty of this phase. The experiment itself became part of the relationship with the perfume. After trends, noise, dominance, authenticity, and slowness, we arrive at creation. We are no longer searching for the perfect bottle. We are searching for possibility. In the past, the perfumer was the artist. Today, the user is also an artist, and this is one of the most dangerous shifts in modern perfume history. Because you no longer have to wait for the next release. You can create your own version now. The layering revolution is not about mixing two scents. It is about dismantling the old idea that perfume is a finished formula. Today, perfume is not a decision. It is a possibility. And the question is no longer what is the best fragrance, but what happens if I try this with that? If the user has become the creator, what happens when an independent perfumer appears? One who answers to no major house and no marketing rules. In the next episode, we enter the age of the independent perfumer. That was all for today. If you liked this episode, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. And as always, stay scented.